The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by
It's time to talk MTCS sports.
It's Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
We're joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School coaches to talk about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. It's time to talk orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner.
And welcome here to MTCS Cougar Corner. John Dinkins back with you hosting this portion of the show. And we have Christian Peterson, the head coach of the MTCS Cougars, and a game. And let me give you the score. Last night, it was 34-21. Webb defeated MTCS. Now, before everybody goes into kind of, wow, that was a loss. But, wow, Webb's a pretty good ball team, number one. Number two, I thought it was much closer than I was anticipating. And because I know you knew what kind of team Webb had, you've got to be at 34-21, and you're going to tell us about it because I think it was even closer than we could have imagined. And really a nice performance, I think, overall.
Yeah,
I know there was issues, with things, but.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we never want to get into the spot where it's, moral victories and all that stuff. But at the same time, I thought our kids played really hard. Our game plan going in was to hold the clock, win in body blows, and I think for the most part we did that. I think we came out and we went and got our 4 yards, got back in the huddle, snapped the ball at 5 seconds, and go get 4 more yards. And we frustrated them at times. They only had the ball 3 times the entire first half. And we moved the ball well. Had a fumble, missed a field goal, and then had a touchdown. But I don't think they stopped us really in that first half. Again, I think watching our team go from where we were week 1 to where we were last night, I'm really proud of them. We're still not where we want to be. We're not at the finish line yet. We still have things we've got to fix and we've got to adjust and we've got to keep working. But again, I thought defensively, we flew around better, right? Anything happened in front of them, I thought they rallied to the ball. We had multiple hats there. There wasn't a whole lot of one person trying to make a tackle. I thought offensively, especially up front, I thought we got after people, right? I thought we got off the ball. They were big up front. They're physical. And I thought we came off the ball. We're playing with good pad level. We're getting movement. I think we're starting to understand where we need to hit plays, where we need to go. When you kind of look at the stats, we got freshmen and sophomores kind of all over the place that are just growing and getting better. And so, again, I think the trajectory that we're on is really good. Right? I think it's a really positive momentum's going right now.
And when coaches can start to see that maturity kind of thing, because you're young and you're young at some key places, does it just click in kids sometimes? I mean, and I know there'll be a setback or two in a game, a future game, but to see that kind of click, it clicks in their mind as well as it does physically, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. You start seeing the light bulb start to go off. You're starting to see them understanding the why, right, and what we're trying to accomplish. And that's when you can start getting past the why I blocked this guy. Well, it's all right. Well, we're trying to run power, right? And I've got to run my tracks. All right, that guy blitzed backside, so now I'm just going to keep working and getting to the backside linebacker. Those are things that we weren't great at in week 1. Guys, again, live bullets flying for the first time. Whereas I thought last night, for the most part, I thought we were much better at trading things off when they blitzed and when they stunted and, understanding what the defense is trying to do. In the first week, it was, the wide-eyed, he's inside of me, and there's a guy head up and a guy outside. And it's guys, there's not 3 guys,
yeah.
I promise. Whereas last night, they're coming over going, all right, hey, this kid, he's really wanting to slant hard, so I'm making this call because it's going to open up the outside gap. And so they're starting to see it. They're starting to understand it. and we're starting to get that much better. I think defensively we're starting to understand where we need to go, what we need to do. We got, looking at our defensive stats, I mean, we had multiple freshmen kind of up there near the top. I thought Jaden Sanders played really, really well defensively. I think he's got a really bright future. Owen White, obviously our senior, played really well in the inside. And then Ali Banjura, I mean, can't say enough about that kid. He's going to be a big-time player for us. Eric Bowling, another one. He's starting to understand it. He's starting to get it. He's played 5 football games now, so as he continues to play, he's starting to understand his drops. He's starting to understand when he needs to just trigger and go. And so, look, it's not perfect right now. It's not, and we're not where we want to be. But again, I do think we're trending in the right direction.
And how important is like an Owen White to your team with being so young, and he's the more mature of the group? I would imagine he's an immense help because he's on the field with them, and it's got to give him kudos. To help the other guys.
For sure. I mean, he's been the big one. Honestly, in practice, it's the biggest thing, right? Is they're able to kind of ask him questions too. Sometimes just hearing from a different voice will help. You can coach it 9 different ways, and 10 of the 11 kids are going to get it, but the 11th one might need it said one different way, and maybe that's Owen that's able to say it, or it's Braden Box, or guys that have kind of been through the fire and have seen the ups and downs, and they're able to be kind of that calming presence on the field and keeps everybody kind of just get to the next play, and again, I thought we were better at that. I thought we didn't ride the roller coaster of emotions, right? I thought we were able to, whether it was good or bad, just go out and go play the next play.
It's kind of a calming effect, isn't it? They learn that emotion doesn't help you a lot of times. I mean, you want to play with emotion, but you don't want to let emotion take over.
Yeah, it's controlled emotion, right? Like you want to play with energy, you want to play with effort, but you've got to be in control of your energy, right? You've got to be in control of your emotions. And again, I think we're getting there. I think we're trending in the right direction. Again, I think we played significantly better last night than we did in the first 2 weeks. Again, and it's a good sign. We haven't played a region game yet, right?
Yeah.
So like we've been able to kind of work out the kinks and keep working and keep getting better. And I think the future is very, very bright.
And as coaches, you guys have to worry about not getting too high or not getting too low. I mean, you've got to kind of stay. Where do you feel like you're at this point? What, 2 and 3 now?
Yeah.
Your progress. I think you feel good about your progress. Is this about where you thought you'd be, or is it maybe even a little better than you thought it would be, or maybe not as good as you thought it would be?
Well, I think there's some things that we're better at than I thought we would be. I think there's some things that I thought we would be better at that we just haven't been able to do as well. But we're able to kind of narrow it down. And again, Ali came over, played some running back for us last night, had 17 carries as a freshman, played really hard. Briggs Boyd is really kind of in control of the offense right now. He's doing a really good job. And then, really just kind of like Riley Brown's another one, sophomore kid, kind of got thrown into our wing spot last night and did a really good job. Had some big runs, protected the football, got vertical, went and got what he could. Again, I think it's a testament to, like, they're starting to get it. It's starting to get there. We're able to start taking what the defense is giving us. We're not looking for the 70-yard touchdown on every play. I think our kids are starting to understand, like, who we are is, we're going to get 4 to 5 yards and go huddle up and call another play and go run another one.
Have to learn to grind.
Yeah.
Grind it out, really.
For sure. I was even telling some of our seniors last night, I was like, before the season started, I really kind of felt like this was similar to 2021. So like our first year here. That year we kind of start 0-3. We're figuring it out. We're starting to go. Then we started winning. We started winning some close games. Still weren't really playing great. And then really kind of the after fall break, we really started kind of rolling. And, that team ended up getting on a roll and beat some teams that we probably shouldn't have beat and got into the semifinals. I don't know if we make the semifinals or not. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we're rolling and we make a run, and, you never know. But with the trajectory we were on, I really do. I kind of feel like it kind of mirrors that season a little bit. You're watching the kids start to get it. They're starting to understand that it's just more and more game reps and meaningful snaps. And again, I'm proud of them. I really am. I thought we played really hard. And if we continue to play like that, we're going to keep giving ourselves a chance. And like those are the games that you start to win there as the season kind of progresses.
You mentioned a couple of guys here, and I'm just going to give you some stats. 24 carries for Briggs Boyd, 147 yards and a touchdown, and added 81 yards passing. I'm not going to say that's the best he can do. I'm just saying that's pretty impressive. And you may think, well, he can do a little better than that, but that's a pretty impressive stat there from him.
For sure. Briggs isn't necessarily going to be the guy that goes out there and just outruns everybody. But he understands where he needs to go. He reads the blocks really well. He reads flow really well. And then as soon as there's contact, he makes sure he protects the ball and he gets forward. And so he goes and gets what he can.
And that brings us to a point. Smarts, football smarts. That kid's got it. I mean, he knows. He can read, like you said, he can read defenses and that kind of thing. And that's hard to teach. I mean, that's kind of a natural kind of thing, I would think.
Absolutely. And some of it too is like he's played in a lot of big games. He's played a lot of meaningful snaps for us. He's done some at wing. He split out as kind of the wide receiver. Now he's playing it from quarterback. So he's done a lot of different things for us. And he understands the why. He understands what we're trying to accomplish. And, he understands, like, we just got to get everybody on the same page. We were rolling in a bunch of young guys in there with him, kind of in the backfield. And he knows that it's his job to make sure that if they don't know what they're doing when we call the play, he's got to get them lined up right, and he's got to get them going where they need to go. And, I don't think we had any plays last night where anybody went the wrong way or didn't attack the right gap or anything like that. And I think that's, again, a testament to us knowing we can call it in, and our coach on the field is going to make sure that everybody's lined up. We're going to get into the right look, and we're going to line up right. We're going to give ourselves a chance.
Ali had 67 yards rushing, but he also had 6 tackles and a forced fumble, which we forget a lot of times. Okay, he plays defense as well. The 67 yards is almost like gravy, isn't it? I mean, because he doesn't play as many snaps maybe as every other guy.
So, actually, last night he started for us at our F spot, and I thought he ran really, really hard. He got a lot of traps. He got a lot of counters, things like that. There's one or two plays you kind of look at it and go, man, like the more reps he gets, those are plays that are going to probably turn into 60-yard touchdowns. But he got 6-7 yards on the play, right? And so like we're going to show him, like, if you cut inside on this block here, like I think you can outrun the safety here and you're going to have a good play. But warrior, he played a lot of snaps for us. Played outside linebacker, so he's sitting there, he's flying down on bubbles, he's covering in the flats, he's doing all of those things, and then we're getting a stop, we're turning around, now he's going to run him back.
And on a very hot night, I mean, we got to remember kind of the heat kind of conditions, hard to play both sides, of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. In a perfect world, we'd have 11 and 11, right? And we'd have 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, and we'd be able to kind of roll it through. It's just not always the case. Sometimes based on skill sets, that's just what we've got to go ahead and go play both guys, some guys both ways. And again, I think we've been able to kind of give him a little bit more every week. You give them too much early, and sometimes, like especially those young guys, you can kind of swamp them, and then they're not going to know anything. And so we've been able to kind of just build his workload up, and so really excited to see him kind of take that next step and really start understanding what we're trying to accomplish. And he's a name that's going to pop up a lot as he continues to get older. He's a big time player.
Eric Bowling, well, I'm going to mention one more here, had 2 touchdown receptions, giving that other aspect, that other weapon, the passing, making sure a defense keeps them honest by having a guy that can catch the football.
Yeah, I mean, he did a really good job for us last night. Again, he's another one. He played inside linebacker, outside linebacker. He came over and played some receiver for us. And kind of what we do, our X's block a lot. And so you've got to go from playing linebacker and being physical inside the box to going to X, and you've got to go block their overhang. And a lot of times they put their best guy as the overhang guy. And so we're asking you to go block their best guy on offense, and then you got to go tackle their best guys on defense. And then, by the way, you got to go run some routes, try and catch the football, and go do some things. And so, he's just one that's continued to get better. And and really that whole group is starting to grow and starting to understand what we're trying to do. And I do think we're eventually going to have a pretty deep wide receiver group as they just continue to develop and continue to get better. And again, wanting to make sure you don't put too much on young guys right away. Making sure they understand exactly what they need to do when they go out there, and just continue to build on it.
We're talking to Christian Peterson, the head coach of MTCS, and Coach, I'd love to watch 1A or 2A football. I just don't. I think to me that's the game at its raw core. It's not as complicated to me. I think it's hit, run, see the ball, throw, catch kind of thing, and hit people. I think you guys do a better, your coaching staff does a great job of teaching that. As a result, you see the end results from last year's state championship. Probably one of the most perfect games I've ever seen a team play, and I mean that sincerely. I've been in a lot of games, I've called a lot of games, and to see that, and that's kind of what you're striving for with this group. I mean, to eventually get back to that point again.
For sure, and. The goal is always, the standard doesn't change, right? And we're not going to go into a year going 1 year like, all right, hey, I think we have the talent to go win the whole thing. Let's really coach them hard and let's go try and win it. And then the next year it's like, all right, well, now we're young. Now we're going to go easy on them. No, we're going to coach them the same way. Yeah. And so, are we going to make some mistakes? Absolutely. Are we going to be able to run absolutely everything we want to run offensively or defensively? No, we can't. We're not going to get into 100% of the playbook. Again, when you start talking about small school football, we're splitting offense and defense half and half each day. And so, when you have 11 and 11 and you can spend 2.5 hours on offense each day, versus an hour and 10 minutes of offense each day, and so maybe you're not able to get into absolutely everything, but again, as our guys continue to learn some of our base stuff, some of our key breakers, right, we've got some of them in there, as they're able to continue learning that, we're able to continue adding to it, but especially when you're this young, it's kind of a fine line. Right, you can go in and you can add 15 plays if you want to. Right. But are you going to run 15 plays well? Yeah. So it's kind of that fine line of all right, let's make another small tweak here. Let's go get really good at this. Right. Let's go tweak the blocking scheme here. Let's go get better at this. And then you just kind of build it. And so sometimes you start seeing the big changes really happen 3 or 4 weeks down the road because it's been a bunch of small changes each week to get to that point. If we had 3 hours every day, then, we'd be able to make some bigger changes quicker, right? But I think our kids are doing a good job. I think they're maximizing the time that we have, and, we're able to execute. And so, again, as we continue to get more and more comfortable in what we're doing, we're able to add a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, and just keep building on it that way.
And numbers are always important. You got the little junior pro program going on out there, and the elementary football program, those kind of things. That's what builds that love for it. And it's pretty easy to love football. I mean, really, everybody. It's America's game, really. Excuse me, baseball people, but it's become America's game. Coach, I want to talk 1 second or two before I let you go. Always something happening out at Middle Tennessee Christian School. You've got Friendship Christian next week, by the way. Just down the road here. So Tell us a little bit about that game, because I know that's kind of a rivalry it's become, really.
Yeah, it's been a big one. The winner of that game has won the region every year that I've been here. John's done a really good job, right? I think he's got 4 now in football. Mm-hmm. He's got another 3 or 4 in baseball, right? And you start winning that many championships, you're doing something right. They're going to be really well coached. They're going to be physical, and we're going to have to show up ready to play. They're same as every other friendship team. They have a really good offensive line. They got a running back behind them that can go, and they're going to do some different things offensively, and it's going to be a fun one. And so we got to make sure that we're ready to go and ready to play.
A typical friendship Christian, really. I mean, and one thing about it, you don't have to change the expectations, because and you know what they're going to bring. So
for sure.
It's worried about concentrating on you guys, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they know what we're going to bring.
Yeah.
They know what we're going to do. We know what they're going to do, and we're going to line up and put the ball down. Let's go see what happens.
Yeah, it's a great battle every year. Fall Festival is here, and that's always a great time. Probably a little warmer than it usually is for this, but that's something, kind of an annual thing that people just flock to. I mean, it's just great.
Yeah, no, Fall Festival at MTCS it's a really big
deal.
Now,
you have to get in a Dunkin' booth or anything like
Not
that?
Not this year.
You got off of that.
Yeah, they let me have the year off.
State championships, that's what does it for you, yeah.
But no, my 4-year-old is very, very excited.
Yeah.
She's got her wristband. She's ready to go. She's been talking about it all week. She can't wait. And, now she's kind of in her second year there at the ELC. She's got a lot of friends that she knows are going to be there. And so it's a fun day. It's a fun time. Definitely if you got time today, make it down there. We got a bunch of vendors set up. There's a bunch of really cool things all set up in the varsity gym. There's going to be things outside. It's going to be a really cool event.
And food.
Yes, lots of food.
Lots of food. I may be there for that.
Go.
That's Coach Christian Peterson, the head coach of the Middle Tennessee Christian School Cougars. And we're going to take a break. And when we come back, Brian Baird will wrap up everything, tell you all the other sports that are going on. There's volleyball, all that kind of stuff going on as well here on at MTCS. So we'll take a break, and we'll be right back to wrap things up.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically, because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
It's MTCS Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
On FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
Back here on MTCS Cougar Corner to wrap things up here this morning, and let's talk some volleyball and additional fall sports, cross-country, golf here this morning. This past week on Monday, volleyball, a 3-0 win at Webb. That's varsity volleyball. Middle school had a 2-0 win over Nashville Christian. And it was golf, barely edged by PCA, 154-152. And that was on Tuesday. Also Tuesday, Middle school girls tennis, a 3-2 loss to Siegel, but boys tennis winning over Siegel 5-0. MTCS volleyball, middle school style, 2-0 win over Good Pasture. Also on the 17th, girls soccer with a 2-1 win over St. Andrews Swanee. Varsity volleyball defeats BGA 3-2. What a match that was. It was 2-0 PCA over MTCS middle school volleyball. Varsity defeats Grace Christian on the road 3-0 on Tuesday. Make that Thursday last week. Also on Thursday, middle school girls tennis, a 4-1 win over DeKalb and 5-0 for the boys over DeKalb. It was BGA defeating MTCS in soccer 9-0. And also Thursday, middle school football putting it on Davidson Academy 54-8. And last night's varsity football game 34-21, Webb the victor in that. So what are some things that are coming up? Let's see, cheer is in the Charger Challenge Showcase. So congrats and good luck to elementary, middle school, and high school cheer. They'll be participating in that this weekend. To Monday, JV volleyball will host Riverdale varsity as well, 4:30 and 5:45 for those. And on the 24th, on Tuesday, middle school girls and boys tennis hosting Central, and it will be JV volleyball at University School of Nashville. 5th and 6th grade football will host FRA. And varsity volleyball will be at USN as well. So JV and varsity, 4:30 and 5:45 respectfully. And girls soccer will take on Webb on the road. Also on Tuesday, middle school football will host FRA. And to Thursday, where JV and varsity volleyball will travel to FRA. And the girls soccer team will host PCA in regional play. It'll be volleyball, varsity volleyball at FRA, so not only JV, but varsity as well. And the football game on Friday night will be Friendship Christian hosting MTCS. So that is a look at the schedule that is ahead. All of this can be found at mtcsathletics.com. mtcsathletics.com, a great resource for you to keep up with what's happening in local sports at Middle Tennessee Christian School. Well, that's going to wrap up our conversation this morning. A brief look at our schedule of things that are to come. We've got Middle Tennessee football versus Duke today at 1:30 airtime. That'll be a 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll have coverage at 1:30 with Dick Palmer and Dwayne Hickey. That's just old brain working there. J.P. Plant, Dick Palmer and J.P. Plant. And we'll have Chip Walters and Joe Dubin bring you the play-by-play story. The Coaches Show for MTSU will be on Monday night, too, by the way, at 6 o'clock. Next Friday night, it's Rockvale at Oakland on State Farm Prep Sports. And then back here next Saturday morning for the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner and MTCS Cougar Corner as well. 9 o'clock for the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner and 11:15, thereabouts, a minute or two. Give us a little leeway, if you will, for MTCS Cougar Corner. I want to thank my co-hosts this morning, Danny Brewer and the birthday boy, John Dinkins. Happy birthday, John. 58 again. Wow. And our producer has been Dalton Barrett. I'm Brian Barrett. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy this Chamber of Commerce weather, although it is a bit warm for late September, but sunny day, and it's going to be a nice day to get out and tailgate and take in the MTSU football game this afternoon. Homecoming for the Blue Raiders. Have a great day, everybody. See you back here next Saturday morning for another edition of MTCS Cougar Corner.